Hello everybody and welcome to the northwest coast of the beautiful island of Sicily, the largest island in the Mediterranean. We just got here and there's one thing that has stayed true to us in the last 4 years of full-time traveling around the world, over 50 different countries. There's one tool that has stayed by our side, and today we want to talk about it, and that is Ole Fly, the sponsor of today's video. Have a look at how beautifully blue this water is.
When you land in a new country, there's about 1 million things that you have to think about. Where's the next taxi? What's the appropriate price? How do I connect to Google Maps? And where actually is my hotel? And the last thing that you want to do in those types of situations is really queue at one of those overpriced SIM cards, sales desks in the airport. So we just took it entirely out of the equation to be a lot more relaxed and start the holiday a lot earlier.
Okay, so hear me out. We started off with the radio. The radio became the CD player. The CD player became an MP3, MP4 player. Then you got an iPod. Then you got a smartphone. The move from a physical SIM card to an eSIM shouldn't be that difficult.
During the first year of traveling, we used to collect all of the SIM cards of all of the places that we would visit and kind of store them safely in a plastic bag or something like that. And then when we would return to a country, we would be like, oh, which company again is it for this country? And how do I recharge this? And why do I still have the SIM card? Anyway, we were kind of thinking there has to be an easier way to do all of this.
I can't even begin to tell you the amount of travel stories that we have where we ran into issues with data. Arriving into countries such as Albania and trying to hitchhike through the country, all of a sudden to find ourselves literally stuck on the side of the road with no data. Because there's plenty of other eSIM companies as well, but they don't offer unlimited data with most of their packages, which is the case with Ole Fly. So from the second you land, you can have unlimited data preloaded onto your phone. You literally just switch off airplane mode and you're good to go for as long as you have booked. It's that simple. We were lost in Bangkok multiple times, lost in South Korea, through narrow streets looking for the best place to get some gochujang. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier when you have a preloaded eSIM with unlimited data on your phone.
At the beginning of this year, for example, we did a cycling trip through several Southeast Asian countries, and a lot of those border crossings were kind of in rural areas. But if you cross into the next country, of course, you need to continue to be able to navigate your way, even in rural areas and regardless of where you're going. And that's where Ole Fly really came in handy, because you can just book, for example, a regional plan for the entirety of Asia, and you can just continue cycling or driving or whatever it is that you're planning to do this year, whatever adventure that you want to go on, and Ole Fly will have your back without losing access to the internet, to contact your loved ones, or in emergency situations, being able to call an ambulance.
It also allows us as YouTubers to upload videos in beautiful places like this. To put this into perspective, right? The last time that we came to Italy, which was a few years ago, we paid about 35 or 40 euro it was for a local SIM card that had 10 gigabytes of data. 10 gigabytes for us lasts us probably 5 to 7 days. And we came to Italy the last time for 3 weeks. So we needed unlimited data. And at that stage, we had no idea that Ole Fly even existed, unfortunately. If we had have known about it, it would have saved us the cost of that trip, or would have saved us a huge amount of money. In the end, we spent, I think it was a little bit over 100 euro topping up and changing SIM cards until we found something that worked for us. And don't get me started on the roaming fees when you go to other countries. A lot of times you buy the physical SIM card and then it says on it that you can use them in different countries with roaming, etc., etc. And then you end up with a bill that is just ridiculous. You can save so much time, honestly, with just preloading an eSIM onto your phone. And that's exactly why we're talking about it in today's video. We basically never do these types of videos, but we're just being honest with you guys. This here is an absolute game changer when it comes to long-term travel or just saving yourself stress and hassle while being on holidays somewhere beautiful like this, and you don't want to be chatting to some dude in a language that you don't understand. If you've been watching Naomi and I's channel now, you'll probably understand that we like to travel to places that are off the beaten path. A lot of times we end up in Airbnbs, like the one that we're at right now on the coast of Sicily. It has no Wi-Fi, like quite literally zero. So we do need hotspots. Ole Fly is incredible for that because you have unlimited data with almost all of the packages, and that is an absolute lifesaver for us when it comes to situations like the one we're in right now. And if you're someone who likes to travel adventurously and get outside of the large cities or the tourist hotspots like us, then you would want to consider Ole Fly because it will save you standing outside of cafes or pet shops or McDonald's hunting for some Wi-Fi so you can upload your next video, or you can call your mom to tell her you love her. So if you're traveling soon, check out Ole Fly using our link in the description of this video, or use our code 2MadExplorers to get 5% off any eSIM or top up. This is one thing that has made our life so much easier on the road, and after 4 years of full-time travel, that's really saying something.